Many of Jamaica's artists, especially those in tourism-driven communities, have seen their income vanish overnight as a result of Hurricane Melissa. Now, to help us understand how are our artists coping and why protecting our creative sector must be part of any national recovery plan is Arlene McKenzie, and she's coordinator of the Montego Bay Creative Arts Network. Morning, Arlene. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Good morning, Delia. Good morning, Simone. How are you today?
Hi, Arlene.
We're good. Before we get into the meat of the conversation, tell me a little bit about the Montego Bay Creative Arts Network.
So we're just a gathering of creatives in the West. We came together about 3 years ago to be able to look at opportunities for work, to be able to look at how we can share information, events, activities, training. Our ultimate mission is to try and establish a creative arts school in Montego Bay so that we don't keep losing all our talent going into Kingston to be able to hone when the work is here. There's a lot of work here. There are a lot of opportunities here. We're just not keeping our artisans, our creatives, here in Montego Bay. So that's why we came together. We're now working at, a lot of our creators have been impacted negatively by the storm. We've lost one that we can name, and Jack Callow in Belmont. We have also lost Mazola, as you know, recently. And we're very, very concerned that their needs are not being met. I mean, they're not being seen as a business sector, as the fabric, the thing that holds our culture together in some instances. And so Montego Bay Creative Arts Network is just that. It's a network. We're a conversation. We're a group that we're, as I said, hoping to be able to improve the cultural landscape of the Western region.
But Arlene, I have been an advocate of Fairfield Theatre for many years. And when I think about even the lack of performance spaces outside of the hotels, really nowhere that can channel the art. And this was before Hurricane Melissa. It was before Hurricane Melissa. So I am concerned about how will it be better when even before the hurricane there were challenges.
Yes. So we recognize that the Fairfield Theatre was, in fact, we had Curly Roberts had taken on the task of trying to build out Fairfield Theatre as a viable venue, and then COVID hit. So we've had a couple of disasters lined up one behind each other. Our venues have been badly impacted by Melissa. First Dance Studios, who do their annual performance, usually at Ibero, they were flooded out, dance floor missing, and are now struggling to recover. What's the answer to that? If we don't get together and create a strong enough lobby, then we will keep losing our talent into Kingston for them to come back to work in the hotel sector. And that's been our challenge. If we don't get a strong enough lobby and advocacy group together, then we will keep losing our hotel position to people coming in from abroad who can do it perhaps cheaper, perhaps not with our cultural integrity, but pretending, costuming and so on. Whereas we have our artisans, we have local cultural performances. We have the Etu in Hanover. We have our Maroons, various drummers, indigenous to the region. And we're not even getting a look in. We have our visual artists who we're working with a really great program with Kingston Creative and with TUI, Target 8.9 project, to be able to create murals, a visible presence of our art in Montego Bay and in the Western region. But it is a challenge. It's a we're starting at ground zero in some instances because our artisans, for example, if we look at basket work or woodwork, have to find the raw materials. And then we have our middle person, our gallery operators and vendors who have to identify the markets and get into the hotels to be able to display and show indigenous work. We have had a couple who are signature craft fairs and activities like Market on the Dock and Witter Village, who have been, their venues are totally negatively impacted.
Wow.
So yes, Delia, I agree with you. It is an uphill struggle. We didn't have it before. We're struggling to get them in place now, but we have to be recognized first. If we remain silent, then nobody will even see us. We will disappear into the all-inclusive bubble in the hotels.
So Arlene, what does that next step look like? You've used phrases like ground zero, uphill battle, lobbying, but lobbying if no one's listening, what's the point? So where do you move next as your next step to start to effect the actual changes that you'd like to see and that we need for our creative sector there?
So partnerships is one of our strategic way forward. Where the Curly Roberts, who had taken on the comedy show and has partnered with a lot of comedians, not just locally in the West, but across the island and internationally, to bring really good quality shows into Montego Bay. The First Dance Studios, we're creating a co-working space with support from Kingston Creative to be able to enable our creatives who have been displaced to have space to build back their businesses. So we have a sort of a strategic plan way forward. We're creating this visual presence of art in the city in partnership with Kingston Creative and TUI Care Foundation. And we are actually working on strengthening our sector, ourselves, to be able to have a voice and a place at the table. When it comes to doing that creative arts school in Montego Bay, we want to be the core of that and to bring our talent, our trainers, our expertise to bear.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Does that answer?
Yes,
it does.
Absolutely, and fulsomely. And I see Harris over here just shaking her head because, trust me, you both are singing a very, very similar, if not the same tune. Arlene, thank you for joining us this morning to share the concerns. And what can I say? We wish you all the best. More on.
Simone, one of the things that has struck me with this is that when we give our medals and our accolades and our awards for, you've done very well in art, you've represented Jamaica, we must give people land. And, we must say, look, you've done very well for our country. And now here is a bit of land that will be yours, that we recognize the value of your work. Our artists, artisans, performers, and creators are really struggling. We've got a call out at the moment for asking all our artists and artisans to please go on the Kingston Creative website and to register for the hurricane relief program. This is a small help, but it will help.
All right.
And we're asking you to stand up and let your voices be heard and be seen. And we really want to ensure that with the hurricane, we don't lose our cultural heart. That's the Creative Resilience Fund that we're talking about. Really, really important. It's a small grant application, but then in that, we recognize your presence.
All right, Arlene, we have to run.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Arlene McKenzie, Coordinator, Montego Bay Creative Arts Network. Harris, I hear you in your head over there. It's loud.
Up next, we're going to discuss how parenting shapes the nation and how one group is giving parents the tools to make a real difference.